In this video, I want to share with you behind the scenes, I guess, look at the new acronym that is well and truly out there in the business world today, and that is BANI, B-A-N-I, and the importance of understanding this, not just for ourselves as leaders, but more importantly, understanding it for the benefit of those that we lead. I'm Bernadette McClelland, and I work with leaders, taking them from a state of success to that of significance, and more importantly, understanding the role that we play when it comes to deliberate disruption. That is deliberately disrupting the way that we think, feel, and act so that we can actually create an environment where we can all achieve the results that matter the most for ourselves, but more importantly, for our businesses and those that we lead. So BANI, what is it and what does it mean? Well, for those of you that know me, know that I have always spoken about the VUCA environment that we have been in: volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And VUCA has made its way into this world from the Cold War, because it is a battlefield type environment that we have come from, where it really was volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, but we have surpassed that today. And an American author, futurist, and forgive me if I've got his name wrong, 𝐔𝐘𝐒 or 𝐔𝐘𝐒 coined BANI back in 2020, because of this new environment that we are in that is totally all over the place, for want of a really simplistic way of putting it. BANI stands for brittle. It stands for anxious. It stands for non-linear. And it stands for incomprehensible. So if I was to break this down for you today as a leader, and for you to think about the environment that you are in right now, and you're also to think about the world that your team is in today, let's pull it apart. So brittle, if we think about brittle is definitely very fragile. So small little changes today have such a huge impact, not just on people, but on systems. Like, I've just come from a meeting today, and the amount of angst that working from home and bringing people back into offices is having on systems, on people, is creating so much fragility, so much brittleness. Now, in the VUCA environment, resilience was the big thing. But today, resilience is not enough. And this is my catch cry. Bouncing back doesn't cut it anymore. And resilience is not enough. And so anti-fragility, something that author Nicholas Taleb talks about, is something I speak about as well. And anti-fragility is what we need to understand today. So this is something I've kind of created something about, and I'll be bringing this to market early next year, is strategic evolution. So leaders today need to understand, what is it that is beyond resilience? So we really need to buckle down and say, okay, how can I bring anti-fragility to the fore for my people? So brittle is the beginning, is the B in BANI. The next one is anxious. So let's think about, we're all thinking constantly, what's next? What's next? Stress is at an all-time high. So we've got our people here, the self-awareness, and it's like, how can we be present? How can we stop thinking and, forward and thinking, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Or those people that, think of the past, there's like, we should have done this. How can we live in the present? And so removing all this indecisiveness, and this is something that I'm seeing a lot of, one of the biggest issues out there is leaders not making decisions. So indecisiveness is such a big thing. So how can we remove indecisiveness so that decisions are made, opportunities are not lost, productivity is not reduced and activity starts picking up. And so thought dynamics is something that I'm working on at the moment, is bringing something to the table which is based around presence. And so from a thought dynamic perspective, so A is anxious. The next one is non-linear. So think about where we've come from in the past. Is like the industrial economy is like everything was linear. It's almost like, yep, that goes there, that goes there. We had predictability. And so today, there is no predictability. And so whilst, we have anti-fragility here, we need agility here. And agility is all around flexibility. Agility here is all around adaptability. And how can you accept what's happened in the past, move what's happened in the past, but continue to move on and be totally, totally adaptable? So meaning mapping is really important. And how can you make the future work and realize that isness, it is what it is, and move forward there. So there are no straight lines anymore. And we just have to realize that we've got to move within circles, and there's all this no logic anywhere anymore. And then the final one is the I, which is incomprehensible. And we just need to look at what's happening in our world at the moment, where we are just overloaded, completely overloaded with information. There is so much, but there's also so much shaking our head. It's like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, what the heck is going on? And so how do we make meaning out of all of this for our mental health, and also for the running of our businesses and for retention of staff? So all of this is sense making. And so we need to start to have the courage of our convictions. We need to start asking different questions like, what now? What next? What if? And we need to bring creativity to the table. So there's a whole host of different skill sets that we need, but this is BANI. So we've moved from VUCA and we're now in BANI, and we need to deliberately disrupt the way as leaders that we are thinking. We have to skate to where the puck is going, and I keep saying this. And we have to shift our whole mindset. Leadership in the past has been stable. It has been predictable. It has been in alignment with, this is what we do as leaders. Leadership today has got to be completely disruptive. We have got to shake things up even more than before. And that means lots of different things. It means holding our people to account more than ever. It means being more decisive. It means being more creative, putting our hand up more, putting more ideas out on the table, lots of different things. So I am more than open to have conversations with leaders out there in a roundtable forum, in a Zoom call, to shoot the breeze, to have some different discussions. More than happy. So reach out to me if you are a leader that wants to have an open conversation about deliberate disruption in the realm of leadership today. So on that note, have an amazing day, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.